21.
What happens when all the money is gone? What happens when you have reached your final destination considering this opportunity? I mean, really think about this. This opportunity has came and went for a lot of people. People that you don't even think of anymore, that was once on top, that was the talk of the town. YouTube stars. See, they stars today, but then tomorrow they are completely forgotten about when something happens. And then they lose their status, and they lose the views, and they lose the money. What happens to these so-called YouTube stars? Well, I'm going to tell you what happens to them. Most of them commit suicide. I've looked into it. I've did the research. They're not going to plaster this news all over these networks. They're paid not to, because it would make YouTube look bad. It would make Google AdSense look bad. It would make the advertising companies look bad. So they got to be hush-hush about this. No. Don't put that story on your network. We can't have people looking down on us. Because once they make the connection and say, well, so-and-so committed suicide because they terminated his channel, a person that was making $1.5 million. Something like that can make your company really look bad. They give you the side eye. And then you start not being as popular as you were. So they keep a lot of this news on the low. So it's up to you to dig for it. You have to do the research. When you stop hearing from these people, I'm telling you, start doing the research. Because most times these people are already dead. That's how many is committing suicide or either diving into illegal activity. When you go from millions to zero, you get desperate. And it happens overnight. It's something that happens overnight. These people spend money like water. They don't save anything. They don't invest. It's the first time they have ever had that amount of money. And they think that, you know what, I'll just get the same amount of money next month and I'll just do more videos. So they don't worry about this. And they never have it being a second thought that, you know what, they could terminate me today and I'm done. And as popular as these people would be, they can't come back and start all over again. Even if they do, eventually YouTube is going to find out and then terminate that channel too. I promise you, because you would be way too popular. But let's just say that they would let you slide. You would have to start all back over again. 1 subscriber, 2 subscribers. You would go from 15 million subscribers to 0. Do you think all those people would just come back instantly and say, okay, well, we're with you. We want to make sure that you keep on making this same amount of money again. They forget about you. Now, some, if they really, really liked you, they would come back. They would actually search for you and hope that you would come back. But the majority, which are spectators anyway, that go from YouTube channel to YouTube channel, they could care less. And even if they came across you again, they would say, oh, look at this. He done failed. Shit. I'm not subscribing. I'm not even going to watch any of his videos anymore. That's how they think. That's how they think. This is something that you shouldn't get wrapped up into. Considering MrBeast. Most of you know this person and some don't, but you will by the end of this video. This person has gotten popular off passing out money to strangers, homeless, random people $10,000, $1,000, $15,000. He recently gave a waiter at a restaurant $10,000 as a tip. I'm telling you, I've seen people like this. I'm not trying to hate or be jealous, but I've seen people exactly like this. And before long, they fall hard. And the same people that they gave to, man, you can forget about it. You would need them then. Or you would need somebody like you are right now giving out handouts because you would desperately need it. But they wouldn't be there. These are the ones that decide when they lose it all, commit suicide. There's nothing else I can do. They can't get a job that would cover all of their bills that was based upon the amounts of money that they're making right now. Your whole fucking life is in somebody else's hand. They can pull the plug at any time. Why would you give somebody that much power over your life? They could pull the plug at any time, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Nothing. You can try to restart a channel, and you could try to do this, and you could try to do that, but listen, millions today and zero tomorrow, literally. You would be fucked up. And why dive into it in the first place? Why give them that much power in the first place? And it's not only MrBeast, but it's several hundred more that's doing the same thing. Getting a lot of views, packing in the money, but when it's all said and done, you're in trouble. Now, let me give you the difference between Google AdSense and a certain advertising company that would contact you and sponsor you. See, that's a different ballgame. MrBeast is being sponsored by like several advertising companies at a time, though. And he's being sponsored. Like I said, sponsorship is totally different from Google AdSense. His Google AdSense checks are chump change. As a matter of fact, he probably uses that to give that money away. The checks that he receives directly from the advertising companies, that's the big money. That's the big money. But see, these companies, they sponsor you today, and tomorrow they act like they don't even know you. When they are done with you, when they move on to somebody else, they're done with you. You can't contact them and say, listen, I can't pay my bills this month. I've been used to making this money. Can you loan me this? Can you loan me that? They won't even have a conversation with you. You understand? You're not contracted. They wouldn't dare have a contract between you and them because they want to be able to dictate everything. They want to be able to shut it down for you at a fucking moment's notice if they want to. And you can't do that when you start signing contracts because you're legally binded. So this is why they don't have contracts between these people and them. Have you ever found that to be very mysterious? I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars here and no contract? Something's wrong. Something's very wrong. Do the research of the people that was on top yesterday that is no longer on top today. Half of these people are already dead. Literally, they're dead. Suicide, murder, or they got desperate enough to engage in illegal activity. And their life has been thrown away because now they have 30, 40 years in fucking prison. I'm not telling you something that I'm just guessing by. I did the research. People that you don't hear from anymore, it's very mysterious. These people are in freak accidents. They're being murdered. They're murdering others. They're committing suicide. The YouTube stars. We're talking about people that were making millions of dollars, you know? This is something that you don't seek, I'm telling you, because it will devour you. You understand what I'm saying? You may be able to reach that $1 million mark, but once you do, it's all downhill from there. It's not uphill. It's not, well, you know, I'm coasting now. I'm good now. I'm there now. If you can have conversations with some of the ones that are still alive, that used to be YouTube stars, that you subscribe to, that you used to follow all the time, if you can have conversations with them, they would tell you, listen, don't be a part of this. Because once it's over, it's over. You don't have any insurance policy that you're going to have X amount of dollars if this fails. This is a come and go overnight thing. There's no guarantee, in other words. Don't you understand that? I've been trying to get you to understand this for a long time. And besides that, listen, 2019, AdSense is changing. It will no longer be available to people like MrBeast. And see, you would think that it would still be available to him because the first thing you think is YouTube is making a lot of money. Google AdSense is making a lot of money because of this guy. No. He's being sponsored by advertising companies that don't even do business with Google AdSense anymore. Do the research. I'm telling you, do the research and really dive into this. You will find out a lot of information that you didn't know. You just assume that things went one way or the other, but they don't. Because I was right with you, how you are now, until I started doing the research. Until I started diving in. I'm telling you, it's more than just a cutthroat business, if you will. Business, I wouldn't even call it a business. Because literally, overnight, they could just take it away from you. And you're done. You understand what I'm saying? You're done. They don't give you a certain amount of money to make it on until you can do something else. And what else could you do? Most of these people, they don't even have an education. They can barely read and write. Do the research. I'm telling you. Most of these people didn't even graduate high school. Now, I'm about to say something, and people think that I'm jumping on the bandwagon, but I'm not. I still consider these people frauds. But considering Tariq Nasheed, Brother Polite, Umar Johnson, and several others that happens to be a part of our black society, our black communities, listen, they have been holding them back as far as views, subscribers, and money. I'm pretty sure they were suspicious about this if they were smart. And I'm pretty sure some of you have been suspicious about this. But I did the research. So I know for a fact that they have held back subscribers. They have held back money. They have held back views. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Why would they do this to a certain amount of people or a certain kind of people, but then not everybody else? See, it really has nothing to do with racism, but it has everything to do with what your subjects are about, what you deal with. Even if you're just faking and pretending to really care about this and pretending to care about that, still, it's being put out there. And so they only let you get but so far, and then notice how they start terminating channels. Notice how something happens and then they fall back. I mean, I can say that even for Tommy Sotomayor. I think Tommy thought that, you know what, if I go against my own people, maybe that would put me over the top. Maybe they would let me slide in, whereas everybody else, they would close the door. But that wasn't true. They closed the door for him too. Because I've noticed it. When he is climbing to a certain amount of subscribers, they cut him down. And it's something that happens that you don't understand. Like, okay, well, why did they do this? They don't give you the full understanding of it. If even give you a good enough reason, they terminate you. That's their go-to right there. Just terminate your fucking channel. Or it's something that they will try to discipline you about, threatening or this or that. This is why these rules are set in place, to give them excuses to hold back others, whereas the ones that they are told to let through, they let through. And I think MrBeast is one of them. Come on now. considering his videos, millions of people are tuning into his videos every single day. Have you viewed some of these videos? Have you listened to some of these videos? I mean, entertainment-wise, I can't see millions of people tuning in. Maybe one time, just based upon the amount of people. But see what it is, what I'm getting to, YouTube slaps numbers around all the time to make it seem like these people are popular. It's so easy. All you have to do is just bump up the numbers. They start getting, let's just say that they legitimately earn 10,000 subscribers. If this is a YouTuber that they want to use, then what they'll do, they'll start slapping around the fucking numbers. They'll start building the numbers up slowly but surely. Sometimes I've seen these numbers almost change overnight from 10,000 to 100,000. And I'm like, I know people are paying attention to this, And if it's too quick, then they'll adjust it, If people start, especially in the comment section, if they start recognizing it, then they'll peel it back a little bit, and then they'll bump it up some, and then they'll bump it up some. If nobody's paying any attention and not saying anything about it, I'm telling you, it skyrockets. Some of these people just started. But people like Tariq Nasheed, Tommy Sotomayor, Brother Polite, how many years have they been involved in this? And to only have the amount of subscribers that they have, come on, man, that's very obvious. They're being held back. And I'm not saying that they're being held back because of what they believe in, because I'm telling you, I'm one of those ones that believe that they are faking. They're trying to elevate to a certain number. They're trying to elevate to a certain, level. But YouTube is holding them back. Fake or not. I mean, I know this to be true. It's not my opinion. It's not me guessing. It's not me just wondering and, it seems like, no. I know this for fact. And some of you out there also know it as well. But I want to end this video by saying this. When it's all said and done, then what? MrBeast ends up like one of these well-known YouTubers that's not well-known anymore. And when they finally figure out, you know what, I'm not making a single dollar anymore, then they get desperate and they either commit suicide or kill someone else, or somebody has to kill them because of their desperation, or they die in some freak accident. Because that's exactly what has been happening to the has-beens. And it doesn't take long to be a has-been. Some of you have been on top for 2 to 3 years. And now you're done. You can't receive another check. And you're still wondering, how the fuck did that happen? Damn, I was making damn near $1 million. And now I'm making nothing? What happened? They're still trying to figure that shit out. Don't be a part of it at all. That's my advice to any of you that's thinking about, you have so many people that join every single day for the same reason. I want to be like MrBeast so that I can have millions of dollars to give away if I want to. But they never make it. You notice how it's only 1 or 2, 3 or 4, a handful? You have people that's been going hard on YouTube for more than 20 years. If you don't believe that, do the research. 20 years, some 10 years. You don't go that long and still be at 50,000 subscribers. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. No matter how I feel about Tariq Nasheed or Brother Polite or anybody else that I speak against, something ain't right about that. And I've always thought that. I never mentioned it before now. Because I wanted to get all my ducks in a row. I wanted to know that I was absolutely sure of what I was accusing YouTube of. Now the cat is out the bag. Now it's up to all of you. See, you are the ones that make these people. And you can be the ones that break these people. Stop watching their videos. Stop paying any attention to them at all. They're living off of you. Most of you are struggling. Listen, get this. Most of you that are subscribers to MrBeast, you're struggling yourself. You're having to go get assistance from the fucking government. I might as well tell the truth. I might as well tell it, right? You the main ones that's subscribing to these people, man. Do you think they're going to give you some money? Do you think that MrBeast is going to give you a handout? Every handout that he showed you on a fucking video, that shit is sanctioned. You understand? That shit is fucking set up, man. Do the research. Pay attention. Pay attention to faces and what they say. You have to lock that shit in. Even if you have to write it down. And I can swear, when they start doing future videos, some of these same people are like, well, wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. This person sounds like this other person that I saw on a previous video 8 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 4 fucking months ago. Change their look up. Listen, this has been going on for a long time. The goal is to have a certain amount of people watch their material in the first place. So without you, I mean, they couldn't make any money. Without you, the advertising companies wouldn't sponsor them. Because they go by the numbers. The numbers. What else could they go by? You think they're going to go by how the person looks or, how well the YouTube channel is designed and what they talk about? They could give a shit about that shit, man. They care about the numbers. Because they're trying to sell a product to you. You get 15 million subscribers. They want at least 10 million that's signing up for their fucking product. That's a good day for them. So they're willing to give that person $1 million, $2 million. $1 million to them, these big companies, that ain't shit. It's like $1 to us, man. I'm telling you, that's how much money that they have. Especially these bigger advertising companies. These companies that create games on the iOS and Android. The money is staggering. You wouldn't think so. No wonder Tariq Nasheed was trying to break into iOS. And I also have to tell something about that also too. They're holding him back on that. Black owned? I'm sorry. You don't stand a chance. You have to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody to open up the gates for you. Otherwise, the gates are closed and you only gonna make a certain amount of money. Tariq Nasheed might as well pull his shit down, man, because I'm telling you, you're not gonna make but a certain amount. That's it. You're not gonna make but a certain amount of money. And you can keep trying to redesign it and have a lot of in-app purchases and all that. It's not gonna fly. I'm telling you, because you don't know the right people. You don't know the right people. And see, it didn't help that the interview or the several interviews that he had on the national network didn't help that he kept repeating white supremacy. People that would make you rich, they're not even paying attention to your fucking product on iOS. They're staying away from it. How many black people do you think that can actually afford a smartphone in the first place? Because you would have to have one of those just to be able to access the fucking game in the first place. Who are you selling your product to? It should be the people that has money. Not the ones that have to fucking steal and grind and then maybe they'll end up with it. That's not going to make your day any better. That's not going to make your bank account grow any fucking more than what it is. That's just something to think about. But the gates are closed, and they always have been closed. And that's the way it is. Because we continue to allow it to be like that. How could we change things? By not buying their products. We don't have to fight. We don't have to go to fucking war. By not buying their products. You know, it was something that Tommy said, and I hate to agree with this motherfucker, I really do. But I got to give credit where credit is due. He said, you want to wake these people up that own these products like weave and wigs, and you want to really get them listening to you? Well, this is what you do. You stop buying the fucking product. You understand? You go fucking natural and you stop buying any fucking product in their fucking stores that's related to your fucking hair. The things that you desire. You put it down and see what happens. But you're not willing to do that. So then stop complaining. Shut your fucking mouth and stop complaining. And the main ones that's complaining, ironically, is the ones that's buying the most of their fucking products. Put your money together with other black people, especially these celebrities. Put your money together and have your own stores, your own malls, your own this and your own that, and refuse to shop anything other than black. And see what happens. Things will fucking change overnight. But until then, they won't.